Tonight, an I-Team exclusive. New revelations in the sex scandal surrounding Bishop Eddie Long.
We wanted to ask you about Bishop Eddie Long.
Oh, no comment.
Come on.
The Fox 5 I-Team reveals the identity of another accuser.
Relationships are hard. People lie. People steal. Your heart.
Right now, the mystery surrounding Centino Kemp and his relationship with Eddie Long.
Hey guys, Simone56 here. I apologize for the quality of this particular recording. I broke my microphone, so I am actually using another lower quality microphone to record this. So please excuse the low quality of this recording. But I had to do one. I heard this actually a few months back, and it turned into 4, but I heard that there was a 5th accuser in the Eddie Long case. Now, you guys have noticed that I have not publicly talked about Eddie Long on my channel because I think so many other people were saying the things I wanted to say already. So it really didn't make a difference for me to go on here and say a million things that a million people have already said unless it was absolutely necessary for me to be a witness. But there is indeed a 5th accuser that was a part of the Eddie Long sex scandal settlement. His name is Centino Kemp, and he is the 5th, apparently he's the 5th person that was named in the lawsuit settlement. The I-Team at Fox 5 Atlanta did an investigation, and they found out that he was indeed the 5th accuser on that lawsuit, and he received a negotiated amount of money as a result of that case. And because of that, I'm sure he is under some sort of gag order because he's not talking about anything. But what he can do, he can afford $100 an hour studio sessions. He can afford to ride in a stretch limo to pick him up. He can afford to have a tattoo of Eddie Long, his name actually tattooed on his wrist. To me, I'm just fed up. This is just it. And the name of this video, as you guys can see, is I ain't praying for Eddie Long anymore. I ain't praying for those folks down in New Birth, either down in Atlanta or in his Birmingham location. I'm not praying for them no more. I do not feel the urge to pray for them anymore. Looking at the video of Centino Kemp, and I'm not upset with Mr. Kemp because Mr. Kemp is honestly, in my opinion, a victim just like the other 4 gentlemen were in this case. These were young men. I don't care what the Georgia law says concerning age of consent in 16. So a 16-year-old has no business making decisions about his sexuality at that age. Has no business having to face a predator like Eddie Long. Yeah, I said it. Eddie Long is a predator. He likes young boys. He is a pedophile, and someone needs to call him out on it. And I'm sure, and as you can see, many people have called him out on it. He is a predator. He is a pedophile molester, and he no longer needs to be anyone's pastor, and anyone who sits under him deserves the judgment that's coming to him. Now, looking at this footage, and looking at this gentleman having all of this money, I look at Jamal Parrish, who was recently arrested and had a whole lot of drugs on him. Eddie Long has ruined these young men's lives. And yes, I put more onus on Eddie Long because he's supposed to be the elder here and he's supposed to know better. He's ruined these young men's lives. He pays them some hush money to shut up and go into the wind. And you've got these idiot, I'm sorry if you think this name calling is harsh, I really don't care. These idiot New Birth churchgoers who are brainwashed zombies who are sitting here on the news talking about, I'm going to support my pastor no matter what.
Hundreds of people drove off New Birth's campus. Many did not want to talk about Bishop Eddie Long and the 5th accuser in the sexual misconduct case. But those who did talk with me say they support their pastor.
That doesn't matter to me. I know who he is, and it's just talk. He's a good spiritual dad, so that's all I can say.
Bishop Long is a man of God. People are trying to tear him down in all kinds of ways. I don't believe the first one, and I don't believe him now.
Did you hear about the 5th person today?
Yes, I think that's just a scam. They bring him down. He's bringing the word out so strong right now. They just trying to bring him down.
I don't believe it, not for 1 minute. I'm a strong woman of God. God deals with me in a way that, you know, If it was something to it, he would have gave it to me.
You know what? He is your pastor. He is your pastor in the den of iniquity, and he's leading you and shepherding you right to hell. I am through praying. I am through seeking the Lord on your behalf. I am through. I am through. And no, my approach may not be right, but this is how I feel. I am through praying for them. I am through. God will get his children out of that den of iniquity if there are any of his children left in that place. And if you are someone who calls yourself a Christian who still belongs to Birth Missionary Baptist Church, where Eddie Long is the CEO of the organization, he's no pastor. Nobody has no business calling him a bishop or a pastor. You got not one but two people on record, however you may feel about them or not. This pastor online by the name of Battle, he has a lot to say about Eddie Long, and he thinks Eddie Long should sit down. And I posted on my channel how Paul S. Morton thinks that Eddie Long should sit down, and this is the person that ordained Eddie Long. He thinks that Eddie Long should no longer be pastor of New Birth. But you've got these zombies. I'm sorry, I'm going to call you how I see you. You are brainwashed zombies. You guys that continue to pay tithes and offerings and pay your attention and pay your money and pay your time and efforts to continue to go to that den of iniquity, God's judgment is going to come down on you just like it's going to come down on Eddie Long. You come out from among her and you be separate, or you're going to suffer the same judgment and the penalties of which is coming on that place. And anyone who supports her and anyone who would stick up for her, like Creflo Dollar, for example, who I refuse to call pastor because he is nobody's pastor. I'm sorry, I'm tired of people sugarcoating this. Creflo Dollar has been teaching prosperity gospel for years, leading people astray, actually tying folks' salvation into how much money they give to his den of iniquity. We listened to that for years. We know that these people are false based on what we hear. So why does it surprise you when he comes out and defends another solo wolf talking about, oh, he just had a wreck? I'm sorry, Creflo Dollar. I'm sorry, he did not just have a wreck, but he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wrecks, okay? He had wrecks on wrecks on wrecks on wrecks on wrecks. And how many other wrecks we think Eddie Long has had? How many other countries has he been to and he's done this to young boys where it's actually, kind of tolerated? Maybe a New Zealand or a Bahamas where this crap is going on. I cannot stand this, and I cannot stand that these so-called Christians, and I'm sorry, if you are a part of that den of iniquity, I am not even calling you brother, I am not even calling you sister. You do not belong to the body of Christ as far as I am concerned. Because God is not going to let his people be that deceived for that long. I'm at my wit's end with this stuff, guys. I'm really at my wit's end. How many more young men have to come out and say that Eddie Long touched me? That Eddie Long had inappropriate relations with me? How many young men got to come out? And how many of you mothers, you single mothers that are sitting there, Eddie Long's church, are letting your sons be exposed to this monster? Sitting here with his extra medium shirts on, talking about manpower this and manpower that. Brother gets a kick out of taking other young men's manhood from them. I'm at my wit's end with this. I'm not praying for y'all no more. I'm not praying for y'all no more. Oh, just pray for them. Oh, you're not going to like the prayer I pray. If you hear the prayer I pray, you ain't going to like it. You ain't going to want me to pray for Eddie Long, for Creflo Dollar, or for any other of those wolves, that wolf pack down in Atlanta. Now you've got this Centino Kemp guy. He's sitting here with your tithe money, New Birth. He's got your tithe money. And he's got $100 an hour studio sessions, and he can ride up and stretch limos, and some of you are catching the bus to get to the church. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? And Eddie Long and all that leadership at New Birth, even Bernice King, who hauled behind and got out of there because she knew what was going on and she got out of there, but didn't have the courage to speak up on it. Vanessa Long, his wife, who knows exactly what's going on, that woman knows what's going on. And all those elders and ministers and all of those so-called leaders in God's church who are sitting here letting that man sit there and touch little boys, take their manhood from him. Have you seen Centino Kemp? He's so effeminate. Why is he so effeminate? And the other young men are probably fighting those effeminate feelings. And I'm looking at Jamal Parrish busted with drugs and drunk driving and doing all this other stuff. He's trying to medicate his pain. You can't tell me that you looked at that news report of Jamal Parrish giving his testimony and you didn't think to yourself that Eddie Long is 1,000% guilty. It's absolutely insane. You're out of your mind. I ain't praying for y'all no more. I'll pray for the victims involved. I'll pray for them. I'll pray for anybody else that's been exposed to that monster Eddie Long. Yeah, I'll pray for them. I'll pray for Eddie Long's children and maybe even his wife. I might have some sympathy to pray for her, even though I think she's a co-conspirator. I'm really ticked off. When is this going to stop? When is this going to stop? And this is what I'm talking about, and this is why I have a channel, and this is why I do what I do here on YouTube, because of this type of foolishness. Churchianity has blinded the eyes of those who claim to be in the light. And you can't see something as clear as this. You can't see that a bishop must be blameless and without reproach. You can't see that in the scripture. You can't see that he has to have a good reputation with outsiders. You can't see that. You can't see that long before he touched a little boy in his church, that Eddie Long wasn't qualified to be anyone's pastor because you loved his false teachings, you loved his doctrines of demons, and you had tickling ears to hear just what he had to give you. Tainted spiritual milk. I'm absolutely disgusted. I've been disgusted for a long time about this Eddie Long thing. And then you tolerate this man coming before you every Sunday while having reproach attached to his name. Oh, we still love you, Bishop. Oh, we just pray for you. Oh, those boys are lying. Oh, they all just wanted his money and all this, that, and the third. Shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up right now. Shut your mouth. I hope God shut your mouth and you're never allowed to speak again. But, oh, this is not loving Simone 5-6. Let's do another exit to heaven. You got to continue to pray for them. No, I don't. No, I don't. You can pray for them all you want. I'm done. This is a shame to the name of Christ. If the name of Christ weren't attached to this term, I wouldn't even want to be called a Christian. I would not want to even be associated with some of you hypocrites who come around here and you think you can do anything you want and you think you can sin openly and bring reproach to the name of God without repercussions. And you don't think that judgment is coming, and you think that God is just going to tolerate your sin as if it's just okay. That's what you think. But let me tell you something that I know is true. While God is a gracious God and He's merciful, He is also a God of justice. And don't think for 1 second that your wolf has gotten away with anything. He hasn't gotten away with a thing. And He will pay for His crimes. He will pay for what He did to those young men. If not here on earth, in the new earth to come. Simone 5-6, I love you all with the love of the Lord. I'll talk to you later.